when you talk about V4 engine, you don't have to think just about the engine. Have a V4 engine means you have to build a complete different bike, okay? So different chassis, different weight distribution, different parts on the bike, but we have no idea if it's faster or not at the moment. So we have to build the bike, build the engine, build the bike, check if it's faster, then decide.
Yamaha's history with competitive racing is complicated. Although the company won many competitions over a decade ago, its races in recent years have been very disappointing. To fix this, engineers at Yamaha are now developing a more powerful engine that promises to give racers a more competitive advantage in MotoGP's upcoming season. The announcement was so shocking that it stunned the entire industry, raising many questions. Why did it take them over a decade to fix this issue? And how do they plan on changing everything with this engine? Join us as we explore the shocking details and exciting stories behind Yamaha's new engine. Yamaha's unexpected announcement. On January 12th, after over a decade of endless disappointments in MotoGP's competitive racing scene, Yamaha's technical director, Max Bartolini, publicly announced the development of a V4 engine during the famous Tokyo Auto Salon event. Compared to America's most powerful bike engine, the Gym USA's 135 twin-cam, Max Bartolini promises that Yamaha's V4 engine would have a much higher RPM range, a more compact size, and better cooling efficiency. This wild promise came at a time when the company's racing team had been struggling for years to catch up with leading giants like Honda and Suzuki. And while Yamaha today is known as the racing company struggling to catch up with higher competitors, a brief look at the company's past shows us something quite interesting. Believe it or not, from 2004 to 2010, Yamaha was the company winning all championships. They pulled this off with the powerful inline-4 engine that performed better than the competition. With this engine, Yamaha dominated the scene for over half a decade. But after 6 years of endless victories, the company became too confident in their old engine and failed to make upgrades when they could afford to. And as a result, they started losing a lot of races and were quickly overtaken by the competition. While other companies kept upgrading their engines for better power and efficiency, Yamaha kept relying on their old inline-4 systems for future races, leading to many devastating losses spanning over a decade. Now, with their new V4 engine set to be revealed in the coming months, it seems Yamaha is ready to dominate the tracks once again. At the same time, however, it leaves fans wondering why it took the company so long to learn from its mistakes. To answer the question, we have to first explore how the company once dominated the scene, why it fell from grace, and how it plans on making a comeback with its new V4 engine. So without further ado, let's get to it.
The good turning and the good agility of the year before, but the bike improved a lot, the engine improved a lot.
The story behind Yamaha's new engine goes way back to early 2002. MotoGP, the biggest motorcycle, was at its peak of popularity. It was a place where multiple companies advertised their best engines through highly competitive motorcycle racing, and many heavy hitters like Honda, Suzuki, and Aprilia dominated the scene, winning almost every championship along the way. Each company had special racers representing them, and every time they won, it showed the world what the companies were capable of. Every victory led to significant increases in public sales and recognition. On the other hand, every loss meant less recognition in the general market, and one of those losing companies was Yamaha, a company known for using less powerful vehicles while still hoping to best the competition. But this time, something unexpected was about to happen. You see, Honda at the time was the leading contender for most of these competitions, and the professional racer representing them was the famous Valentino Rossi. The bike he used in most of these races was the fast and powerful Honda RC 211V, and it ran on a custom engine far superior to those used by the competition. Yamaha at the time was represented by Max Biaggi, and though he was very good at racing, he often struggled to keep up with other racers due to how inferior his engine was. On the other hand, Valentino Rossi was already well recognized in the world of motorcycle racing. Since 1997, he had won almost every competition for the various companies he represented, and it seemed there was nothing left to achieve as a professional racer. Rossi was always on top, even among the premier class, and though he loved the sport, his endless victories meant racing was no longer as exciting as it used to be. Wanting to face a much bigger challenge, Rossi knew he had to make a difficult choice, one which might end his career as a professional racer. So in late 2003, after winning 2 world championships with Honda, Rossi announced his decision to leave his current team and sign a new deal with Yamaha.
I'm very sad also because in Ducati I find a lot of good people. We had great times together.
A company that had been struggling to compete for many years. A bad decision, no doubt. But there was a twist. The inline-4 engine. Many fans weren't happy with Rossi's sudden decision, and just as he predicted, joining the new company was very challenging. For one, the bike he used with Honda provided the highest level of power and acceleration, running on a powerful V5 engine that was easy to handle, but much faster than most other engines in the competition. Now he had to settle for Yamaha's less impressive YZR M1 that ran on a weak inline-4 engine that lacked the raw power and acceleration to match Honda's V5. This meant Rossi would have to win all his future races with a much weaker bike, and that wasn't the worst part. The much bigger problem Rossi had to deal with was that Yamaha didn't have a huge budget like Honda. Simply put, there was no money available to upgrade the weak engine. Because of this, it was almost impossible for Rossi to make sharp turns on the track without crashing. It also didn't help that the engine was prone to various other hazards like sudden breakdowns and overheating. These were problems that could have been easily fixed with Honda's deep pockets. But with Yamaha, it was a much different story. For most people, it was clear at this point that Rossi had made a very bad decision to join the company. Or so we thought. Contrary to what was expected, things got interesting in the weeks leading to the next major competition. Rossi practiced with his new bike every day and provided the feedback needed by the engineers to make it better. Every day, the engineers followed him to practice and took notes on how the engine performed. While the money was not available to directly upgrade the engine, thanks to his many years of experience, Rossi suggested various ways the engineers could improve things. So with his help, the engineers were able to optimize the bike's setup, chassis, suspension, and electronics to harvest more power from the engine, even though they were at a disadvantage. They worked hard at this for several weeks, and the big day came on April 18, 2004, during the South African Grand Prix at Welcome. That day, Valentino Rossi shocked the world by winning the championship, starting a new era of victories for the lesser-known company. This led to higher sales and recognition for Yamaha, and Rossi would go on to win many more races and championships for the company, up until late 2009 with Yamaha's inline-4 engines. By early 2010, Rossi had brought Yamaha from being the new kid on the block to becoming the highest contender in the racing scene with the same engine. But times were changing. Rossi was planning to leave the company in a few months, and the competition was getting fierce. Would Yamaha still be able to keep up with their current engine? In late 2010, Valentino Rossi announced his decision to leave the company in search of a much bigger challenge, and from the following year, Yamaha struggled to dominate the scene like it used to. Aside from Rossi's absence, there were a few other problems that caused this. First off, while most other companies had either changed or upgraded their older engines, Yamaha was still relying on their old inline-4 engine for most of their races. Other companies like Honda and Ducati had taken notes from Yamaha's years of success, now focusing more on improving their existing lineup while making significant upgrades. At that time, Yamaha could have easily built machines with stats rivaling some of today's lineup of El Bruto engines, but they didn't. Secondly, unlike the previous years, most competitions now used straight tracks instead of curved paths. This meant that companies now needed new engines that prioritized speed over stability if they wanted to remain competitive. Instead of doing this, Yamaha kept using their old inline-4 engine that produced much less speed than other machines, and as expected, the results were devastating. 5 years passed, and it seemed Yamaha had not learned from their mistakes, choosing to still compete at a low budget at a time when other companies were making significant upgrades. 2016 came, and Yamaha's performance continued to decline rapidly. This was most evident when MotoGP commanded all companies to change the tires of all their vehicles to Michelin. For a bike running on an engine with less performance than the competition, using these new tires meant readjusting all aspects of the vehicle, and there wasn't enough time. In contrast, other companies could easily adapt to this change as their more powerful engines were able to take the hit. Because of this, Yamaha continued to lose more races, and sales in the mainstream market continued to decline rapidly. Many professionals couldn't stay for long either, as they were always at a disadvantage. A great example occurred in 2017 when their best racer, Jorge Lorenzo, left the team because his bike was never good enough.
It's difficult to improve the bike now. And for sure, in the last test of Japan,
It was a bad year for the company, but things would only get much worse. The road to the V4 engine. The years leading to 2021 were filled with disappointment. The company's performance had sunk so low that not even Rossi's return earlier on could bring it back to dominance. He even said during an interview that Yamaha was being overtaken by other teams in development. And while Rossi managed to win a few races in 2019, Honda and Ducati continued to dominate. Things got worse in 2020 when Yamaha finished the season in 8th place, even when Honda's top racer, Marc Marquez, was injured, and many fans struggled to accept this. Though Yamaha won the championship the following year, the second half of the season was disappointing with only a few podium finishes. 2023 was a difficult year for Alex Rins, the top racer who represented Yamaha in Japan that year, stating how he always knew he would lose before the race even started. Even though the loss was anticipated, it felt devastating to Alex, and he publicly blamed Yamaha's engineers for never making the right upgrades and adjustments he had been asking for. By late last year, the future of Yamaha in the competitive scene was looking grim, especially considering how well they performed over a decade ago. They made a huge mistake by relying too much on their inline-4 engines, and from the many championships they won back then, they clearly had all the money required to fully upgrade their engine, but still chose to cut costs and keep competing at a much lower budget. During this time, other companies like Honda and Suzuki learned from their mistakes and invested more in their engines, while the engineers at Yamaha kept working in their comfort zone. Many fans lost their hope in the company, and they quickly became a laughingstock within the racing community. Yamaha's engineers at this point realized they had to do something, and the next thing they did was unexpected. In early September last year, Yamaha began a post-mortem analysis to find out what went wrong in the past decade. Not wanting to waste money on the wrong conclusions, they sent private questionnaires to professionals who worked with them in the past. They wanted to know what type of engines most racers needed to win more championships. They did this secretly, not wanting to get much attention from the press and bigger competitors like Honda. With this in mind, they crafted the questions in a way to not make it sound like they were making a new engine. But even back then, the racers knew, and they provided the feedback necessary for them to build a much better engine that would help them compete at a much better advantage this year. And on December 8th, through an interview with Motorsport SI, Yamaha's technical director Max Bartolini made an exciting announcement. Against all expectations, he announced that his team of engineers are now working on a powerful V4 engine he hopes would be able to compete with Honda's similar machine that runs on the same design. To everyone's surprise, he admitted the company hasn't done a good job of providing racers with the advantage they need to win more races. According to Max Bartolini, public testing will commence during the Sepang Shakedown event in late February, and inside reports indicate it will perform much better than the American S and SV twin engines built for Harley-Davidson motorcycles. The next MotoGP season is scheduled to start on March 2nd, with the inaugural race taking place at the Chang International Circuit in Buriram, Thailand. The world is eagerly waiting to see what Yamaha has in store for the long season set to conclude on November 16th. While expectations are higher than ever, we'll just have to wait and see what their newest engine is truly capable of. The rapid growth of Chinese automotive technology has led to the development of more advanced, secure, and energy-efficient next-generation cars.
Welcome back. Over the past 2 years, the number of Chinese auto exports jumped by more than half. Elizabeth Palmer shows us how more Americans could soon get the chance to drive a vehicle made in China.
These vehicles, equipped with cutting-edge driver assistance systems and electric powertrains, represent the pinnacle of modern automotive design. They are not just about technological advancements. They represent the future of transportation and have left the world in awe. Which Chinese cars are leading the charge in technological innovation, and how are they pushing the limits of the automotive revolution? Join us as we reveal advanced Chinese next-generation transport that shocks everyone. Nio ET9 sedan. Nio is one of the leading Chinese electric vehicle manufacturers, and it recently unveiled its flagship model, the ET9. This model brings the company's lineup to 9 electric vehicles. While Nio intends to enter the US market, it focuses on its current domestic demand.
According to China EV Post, Nio plans to sell its first car in the US by 2025. The company will import its China-built electric vehicles into the US, rather than manufacturing them locally.
The ET9 boasts impressive technology, featuring a 900-volt electrical architecture and steer-by-wire technology. Here is a big fact. In terms of size, the ET9 surpasses even the extended wheelbase version of the Bentley Bentayga, measuring 209.7 inches in length compared to the Bentayga's 208.9 inches. Nio has coined the term landjet to describe the ET9. It features a powerful all-wheel drive system with 2 electric motors. A smaller 241 horsepower asynchronous motor powers the front wheels, while a larger 456 horsepower permanent magnet synchronous motor drives the rear wheels, resulting in a combined output of 697 horsepower. The ET9 is equipped with a 120.0 kilowatt-hour battery that operates at a high voltage of 925 volts and is capable of fast DC charging at speeds of up to 600 kilowatts. Although specific performance figures and range estimates are not yet available, Nio claims that under ideal conditions, the ET9 can recharge at a rate that provides up to 158 miles of additional range in just 5 minutes. Nio offers automated battery swap stations in China to enhance convenience further, replacing depleted batteries with fully charged ones in under 5 minutes.
The idea of swapping batteries on electric vehicles isn't exactly new. The technology is already available and growing fast in China.
The ET9 is the first Nio model to incorporate steer-by-wire technology, a feature expected to become more prevalent in the automotive industry. Like the Tesla Cybertruck, the ET9 eliminates the traditional mechanical connection between the steering wheel and the steering rack, relying solely on electrical signals for input and feedback. This technology helps redundancy in case of power failure, ensuring the driver's and passengers' safety. Nio has previously collaborated with ZF Group on steer-by-wire technology, suggesting that this supplier developed the ET9 system. Additionally, the ET9 features rear-wheel steering and an active suspension with height-adjustable air springs, further enhancing its driving dynamics. The ET9, like many other luxury Chinese vehicles, prioritizes the comfort and convenience of rear-seat passengers. Inspired by private jets, the rear seats offer a luxurious experience with reclining capabilities, an aircraft-style tray table, and motorized shades for privacy and noise reduction. That is not all. The ET9 has multiple digital displays, including a 15.6-inch central touchscreen, 14.6-inch displays for rear passengers, and a smaller 8.0-inch control screen in the rear. In terms of advanced driving technology, the ET9 supports higher-level assisted driving features.
Notably, the vehicle introduces a self-driving chip developed in-house, making it the pioneer in employing the advanced 5-nanometer process technology within China's automotive sector.
Thanks to its 3 LiDAR arrays. The Shenji NX9031 provides the powerful computing capabilities required for these systems and is claimed to be the world's first 5-nanometer automotive-grade chip. This impressive technology can undoubtedly be a conversation starter for ET9 owners. The ET9 is currently available for pre-orders in China, with deliveries expected to begin in the first quarter of 2025. Prices start at approximately $112,000 at current exchange rates. Would you love to have one if the company eventually exports this model to the United States? Tell us in the comment section. Moving on to the next marvel of modern Chinese transportation, a train that doesn't roll along tracks. This will leave you shocked. Suspended maglev train. Have you ever heard of the world's fastest trains? Many of these high-speed trains originate in Asia. Interestingly, some trains travel above the ground, suspended beneath the track. China's latest high-speed train relies on magnetic levitation technology to travel through tubes up to 4,000 kilometers per hour. In recent tests, the maglev train reached 623 kilometers per hour, surpassing the fastest currently operational trains. While not yet in commercial service, the train achieved a new speed record of 623 kilometers per hour during a test of its low-vacuum tube technology in February.
In Chengdu, engineers are working on the future of rail travel, the maglev. Theoretically, it could travel at a flying speed of over 500 kilometers per hour. That is the dream. In practice, things are more complicated.
This marks a significant milestone for the project, as the train traveled stably through a 2-kilometer-long tube. The Aerospace Science and Industry Corporation has not disclosed the exact speed achieved in this test, but confirmed that it was faster than the previous record. Maglev trains utilize magnetic levitation technology, employing magnets' repulsive and attractive forces to guide, accelerate, and decelerate the train. This eliminates the need for wheels, brakes, and other heavy components, making maglev trains significantly lighter. This train can rival even the speed of commercial airplanes. The benefits of maglev trains will leave you speechless. Commuters can travel from greater distances to cities, and the increased logistics speed will positively impact businesses. With the potential to reach more than 1,000 kilometers per hour, maglev trains can compete with airplanes, offering a viable alternative for long-distance travel. Associate Professor Jonathan Kuldrick from the ANU College of Engineering, Computing, and Cybernetics states that a high-speed train like China's maglev would significantly help large countries. For instance, commuting 400 kilometers in approximately half an hour is like nothing we've ever seen. This would enable people to live in areas outside of major cities. Mr. Kuldrick believes that these fast trains could also be environmentally beneficial. He estimates that completely replacing regional passenger aircraft with ultra-high-speed trains in certain countries could reduce carbon emissions by 3 to 4%. Designers are pushing the boundaries of train technology. Mao Kai, the technical chief of the project, mentioned that the train surpasses the record of 3,529.6 kilometers per hour set by the SR-71 Blackbird reconnaissance aircraft, the fastest human-crewed aircraft in history.
The SR-71, nicknamed Blackbird and Habu, based off the designs of the A-12 and YF-A-12, was first seen soaring in the skies in 1964.
Japan's fastest bullet train can only reach a maximum speed of approximately 320 kilometers per hour. However, Japan also has a 42-kilometer test track, where a maglev train has achieved a speed of 503 kilometers per hour. Dr. Laird said this maglev train will not enter service until at least 2030. When Japan's new generation of maglev trains becomes operational, they are expected to travel at a maximum speed of 500 kilometers per hour between Tokyo and Nagoya. The following vehicle on our list is a two-wheeler with astonishing capabilities. Hoverboard, Shane. This is the latest tool from Shane Chen, the creator of the original hoverboard. Shane is the first two-wheeled EV concept that is ready for everyday use. Chen, the inventor of the self-balancing hovertrack scooter, also known as the hoverboard, patented his creation in 2012. Chen holds 76 patents in the United States despite widespread copying by other Chinese manufacturers. Chen describes Shane as a groundbreaking moment in automotive history, marking the practicality of a parallel two-wheeled electric car. While the vehicle's exterior may resemble a toy, Shane is designed to accommodate 5 adults comfortably. The interior evokes the sensation of preparing for a futuristic roller coaster ride. When in motion, the vehicle's wheels automatically adjust to maintain balance. The creator believes that this design enables safe travel at high speeds. Shane, quote, S shifting center of gravity counteracts driving and braking forces,
Created by the inventor of the hoverboard, Shane combines several fascinating technologies. If you like big wheels, you'll love Shane, a new electric vehicle concept with 60-inch rims.
Ensuring stability comparable to a four-wheeled vehicle. The two-wheel differential speed control simplifies parking and maneuvering. The vehicle's large wheels minimize rolling resistance and incorporate regenerative shocks to convert damping energy into battery power. Although not mentioned, Shane's roof appears to feature solar panel technology. Chen expresses confidence in Shane's potential to revolutionize mobility and seeks partners to bring the concept to fruition. The interior lacks a traditional steering wheel and features minimal controls beyond those visible in the center for the driver and passenger. The next vehicle can float in an emergency. Keep watching to learn more about this jaw-dropping technology. BYD Yang Wang U8, or floating SUV. The U8 was first revealed at the Guangzhou Auto Show on January 5, 2023. Sales of the SUV started on April 18th in China. Pricing was announced on September 20th, 2023. At approximately $150,000, the U8 Premium Edition was the most expensive Chinese mass-produced electric car at the time of its introduction. However, this record was later surpassed by the Yang Wang U9 supercar in February 2024, priced at approximately $230,000. The U8 will also be offered in an off-road Master Edition, equipped with off-road enhancements such as a redesigned front bumper, a snorkel, and a detachable roof rack with a side ladder. This marvel features BYD's proprietary individual wheel drive technology.
BYD, the Chinese company that became the world's largest plug-in vehicle maker in less than 20 years, launched a new car brand called Yang Wang,
the world's first exclusive intelligent hydraulic body control system for new energy off-road vehicles. With 4 separate electric motors propelling each wheel, this technology enables the traction control system to redistribute torque and maintain vehicle stability in the event of a tire puncture at high speeds. Additionally, the U8 can utilize differential steering, performing a 359-degree tank turn in tight spaces by rotating the left and right wheels in opposite directions. During a media event in early 2023, BYD CEO Wang Chuanfu personally demonstrated the vehicle's capabilities by driving a mechanism-wheeled demo vehicle sideways onto the stage. According to the developers, the new electronically controlled all-wheel drive system is 100 times faster than a conventional all-wheel drive system. We are about to reveal the most exciting innovation of this vehicle. Keep watching to find out. The U8 features DISC-P active suspension, which can increase ground clearance by 15 centimeters. As an off-road vehicle, the U8 Premium Edition can wade in a maximum depth of 1,000 mm, while the Off-Road Master Edition can wade up to 1,400 mm and is equipped with a snorkel. It also has limited water sailing capabilities, although BYD discourages owners from attempting this, as it is intended as an emergency escape feature for disaster situations like flash floods. Owners must take their vehicles to a service center for inspection afterward. When the car detects higher water depth than the wading limit, it activates an emergency floating mode. 1,500 HS thermoformed steel further elevates the safety standards, as this is the most steel used in any comparable automobile. Safety is not only prioritized outside, but inside the vehicle too. The interior features 11 standard airbags and 6 cameras, which enhance its occupant protection and situational awareness.
Check this out. All of these physical buttons for your air conditioning, your seats, your media, it's all physical buttons, and they have some pretty awesome touches of Chinese culture.
To ensure a clean cabin environment, the vehicle includes highly efficient air purification filters, making it a safe haven for passengers. But that's not all. Beyond safety, the vehicle boasts of highly remarkable performance capabilities. It features the world-first MOSFET motor control module, enabling it to accelerate from 0 to 100 km per h in just 3.9 seconds. Furthermore, it has an impressive braking distance of only 32.8 meters when stopping from 100 km per h, demonstrating its high-performance engineering. The vehicle doesn't just impress with its safety and performance features. It also offers a luxurious, spacious interior that enhances comfort and connectivity for both drivers and passengers. At the center of the cabin is a 15.6-inch main touchscreen, which acts as the command center for the vehicle's advanced infotainment and connectivity systems. The display offers seamless access to navigation, entertainment, and smart vehicle controls, ensuring that the driver has everything they need at their fingertips. For rear seat passengers, the vehicle... So, what do you think? Will this change anything for Yamaha? Or will they continue to struggle behind leading companies like Honda? Let us know in the comments down below. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Also, click on the next video shown on your screen. You will enjoy it.